Sweetheart, and you did surprise me, so thank you. All right, I'm calling the meeting to order. And, gee, Charlie, would you like to lead us in the salute to the flag?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. We are dedicating the meeting tonight to Kevin Brown. He's a native of Stanfordville, and he passed away earlier this month. He was the former fire chief of our town and also volunteered for the Pine Plains Fire Company. The Browns are a well-loved family, and Kevin was a well-loved member of the Brown family. So may I just ask for a moment's silence, please? Thank you. Rita,
Wendy Burton.
The drum roll, please. Here.
Wendy Burton, Julia Dakota.
Here.
Eric Ames.
Present.
Nathan absent. Teddy Secor.
Also here. Yeah, I could say. Really add to the mix, you know.
Oy vey. I'd like to make a motion to approve the agenda.
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye. Town Board Liaison Reports. Teddy, do you want to start?
Yes.
Okay.
It's quick.
Thank you.
So the Climate Smart Communities Task Force did not formally meet this month. We had a catch-up meeting just to go over what we're going to be getting into come September, which is going to be really ramping up. Haunted Fortress did not have a meeting this month because we are busy with the Haunted Fortress itself, the actual place. But this month we will be going over our budget because budget season is soon, or is upon us. And this is also the time where I start getting advertisements ready. So we'll be talking with Radio Woodstock, local newspapers, and different radio stations and their websites. And the ZBA, next month, well, before I get into that, the ZBA officially closed the public hearing regarding the stop work order issued to the Rathjen landscaping property. So the parties finally agreed, and the public hearing is no longer open. That is settled. But next month there will be 4 public hearings regarding variances. A variance at 6498 Route 82, a variance at 758 Huns Lake Road, a variance that is on Pugsley Hill Road, which is going to be a splitting of one property into 2. They need an area variance. And on Barton Lane, there is going to be a reshaping of several parcels of land. So those second 2 are actually pretty complicated, but it's, if you live near those properties, you will be informed by the property owners. Do you want me to talk about the rec meeting too a little bit, or?
Sure. I would say, I would just like to ask you, since you go to the ZBA meetings and you go to the planning board meetings, could you make sure that when the meetings are over, they turn, like it was 68 degrees in here, so it's just a lot of air conditioning for a room that doesn't get used very often. Mm-hmm. And the same with the planning board, they seem to do that. Thank you.
Sure.
Sure, if you have a report for the rec.
Yeah, so last night before I went to the ZBA meeting, I partially attended what ended up being a 2-hour-long rec board meeting, rec commission meeting. There was a summary about the summer camp program, which was a great success. They're really Lauren and Sarah are finalizing numbers and income, so we're probably going to get those finalized numbers next month. But sounded like a great program. No one really had any complaints, but staffing and restructuring about really how that is going to work next time, you know, because this is a learning experience. That was the gist of that. So finalized next month. They talked about Community Day, what's going to happen on Community Day, and they're still finalizing the details on that. And they're talking about something really exciting and when they're going to roll that out, which is the townwide scavenger hunt. And they were discussing places that, now this is before I left the meeting, but they were discussing areas in town that would make great places for a scavenger hunt. You know, how they're going to execute it, what the possible prizes are for the scavenger hunt. So it's all going to be very exciting stuff coming down, but I had to leave for the ZBA meeting before that meeting ended, so I was unable to fully report on them.
Okay, well, that was great. They're on fire.
They are, they're
Yeah,
great.
they're doing great. Eric?
Yes, the planning board is super busy. I attended their meeting on July 30th. There were 4 public hearings, one for a site plan and special use permit at 6102 Route 82 in Stanfordville. That's for construction of 2 pole barns for office spaces and storage and for outdoor retail space.
Wait, where is that?
That's the Rathjen property,
Oh, okay.
6102 Route 82.
Okay.
There is a lot line alteration and consolidation at 244, 248, and 277 Market Lane in Stanfordville. There's also a lot line alteration and consolidation at 27, 33, and 45 Barton Lane in Stanfordville. And a special use permit and site plan approval at 603082 Stanfordville, which is the laundromat building. So all the public hearings took place, and then they were closed. There were 9.
Oh, this is for something different than the laundromat, though.
Correct, it's for a physical therapy office. I'll cover that when I get to the business. So what they do is they do the public hearing, then they close it, and then that item, business, gets talked about again by the planning board directly. So there were 9 items of business.
Good Lord.
Yes. Again, the site plan and special use permit at 6102 Route 82 in Stanfordville. That they're still working on this one. There's some issue with the DOT, the width of the driveway, and some wetlands. They're still working out on that one.
So they still have not been able to issue a special use permit for that, for the business?
Not yet. The engineers are still going back and forth.
Okay.
And then the lot line alteration and consolidation at 244, 248, 277 Market Lane. It was approved. It was a type 2 with no seeker, so they got approval on that one. That's for 3 lots with no planned development. The lot line alteration and consolidation at 27, 33, and 45 Barton Lane in Stanfordville has been referred to the ZBA. It's coming there next month. They need a setback variance. Then the special use permit and site plan approval at 6030 Route 82, that was approved. That's they worked out the parking issue. That's for the physical therapy office in the existing laundromat building. So that one's off the list now. Minor subdivision at 369-377 Pugsley Hill Road in Stanfordville. It's a 2-lot subdivision. That one's been referred to the ZBA. They need a well, and they need a variance.
So the property is less than 10 acres? Because they are trying to create 2 different 5-acre parcels, but they don't have the 10 acres?
That I'm not sure of. I know it's 174 acres in total.
Oh.
They're gonna make the house a separate parcel of 17 acres, and they're doing a 2-lot subdivision. I'm not sure of the
I wonder
size
why
of those
they need a-
lots.
It was an area variance related to pre-existing structures. So it was either move the structures or get the area
Got it.
variance, so
Thank
yeah.
you. Thank you.
That's that. But then there's a building envelope modification, Patridge Creek Estates, Lot 15 in Clinton Corners. There's gonna be a public hearing on that on August 27th. The next one is a minor subdivision at 313 Jameson Hill Road. This is gonna need a variance as well. And there's some things to work out on that. Easements for the road, utility maintenance easement, DEC has to be involved. That's a complex one. And then, major subdivision at 729 Cold Spring Road in Stanfordville. This is an interesting one. This is gonna be an 8-lot subdivision in a polo horse farm.
Oh, that's at the Hudson?
Yes, it's a 130-acre parcel. They have a lot of work to do on that one still with the engineers, so that's not anywhere near completion. And then, let's see, 177 Sisters Hill Road, Stanfordville, 3-lot subdivision with existing building on each lot. Public hearing's going to be needed. They may have to do a new well drilling, and utility issues have been solved. The public hearing's going to be on August 27th.
Okay, so it made it to the public hearing.
Yes. And then there were 2 pre-application conferences. One at 311 Huns Lake Road, that is for a resort and recreation special permit. The owners are trying to do a wellness center, and overnight, so there was a lot of conversation about how to make this work.
There's not a definition within our special use permits yet.
Correct.
To accommodate that kind of a retreat.
Correct. They were talking about maybe doing yurts.
But that is where, I think that's where Roseland Ranch used to be, so it shouldn't.
I think that's right.
Yeah.
Let's see. And then the last one, lot line alteration at 119 Lawton Road in Stanfordville. That one, they have some work to do. They need to get the lot surveyed. So that was just a pre-application conference. The planning board will meet again. They don't normally meet in August, but they're so busy. They have the public hearings. They're going to be meeting on August 27th.
Great.
That's the end of my report.
Wow, thank you.
You're welcome.
You must be exhausted.
I am.
They must be exhausted.
Yeah, they're really working hard. I give them a lot of credit.
Julia.
Yep. So the CAC met on July 16th. The two main topics of conversation, one, the natural resources inventory, which is going to be closing for public comment tomorrow. The NRI will then be presented to the town board with the expectation or hope that we will approve the NRI via. Oh, no.
You okay?
Okay. That it will be approved via resolution. For anyone that hasn't read it, it's really fabulous. I started reading it several weeks ago, and every time I look around, I'm like, wow, these guys have done a tremendous amount of work. So it's very beautifully done and will be a great resource for the planning board, the zoning board of appeals, and the town board as we go through, the next several years and think about land use and issues, things like that. The second big topic of conversation was the Buttercup Sanctuary Survey. They received over 60 submissions, and next steps on that are we're going to be a conversation with the Audubon Society. The Audubon Society is really interested because the majority of people that use the Buttercup Sanctuary use it for birding and dog walking.
Yep.
And so the CAC is going to put together a meeting with the Audubon Society to see if they can figure out ongoing maintenance, trail clearing, removals of invasive species, things of that nature. They're looking for fundraising options, funding options, basically. And then there was some discussion about purchasing a bench in Barry's honor.
Yeah, I thought we were all going to have that.
So Curtis is researching those bench options, so we haven't seen those yet.
Bless you.
And that was it.
Okay. That's it. That's it.
That was it for the CAC. And then the rec campaign?
Yeah,
And I could talk through water we have as a separate one too.
right. So, okay, so you want to talk about the rec?
I don't really have to.
No, it's okay.
Okay.
But we do have to find another person or persons for the rec campaign committee, right?
Yes, so I'm going to put out an email through our database. We have over 700 members, and then I have, so we will talk about the rec campaign. Because we've closed out the playground component, obviously. Thank you, Karen Sergio, was there like every day volunteering. We're now moving into the landscaping portion. So we have a master plan that was put together for a grant submission to Office of Parks and Rec. So we're looking to get some of that landscaping subsidized by the state. We're still waiting on our grant reimbursement from the playground. So things have been a little bit stop and start in terms of us being able to pick up that landscaping work stream. We still have that $274,000 coming from the state. And so while that is happening, while that reimbursement is still in play, there's a resolution tonight to approve a very small scope of work for some materials that Teddy will go through as our first mini phase. And then when we get the reimbursement from the state, then we would be executing a larger body of work in addition to some additional fundraising and volunteer generation to execute the landscaping phase. So that will include things like clearing pathways, making them ADA accessible so that people can walk on them safely, and then plantings, mostly trees, native shrubbery, things like that, to create more shade and ability for pollinators to come in.
Okey doke.
Okay.
Thank you. For me, the zoning commission was unable to meet last month. First time that's ever happened because we lacked a quorum. Fire commissioners, they're starting their multi-year planning and inventory planning as well as budget planning this month, which we're all doing. The old ambulances that we took out of service for ambulance calls are being repurposed as multi-purpose vehicles for the fire company. And there were 20 fire calls, 2 motor vehicle accidents, and 21 rescue calls last month, with a total of 119 year-to-date. As far as my financial report, all is still well financially. I always get a little bit nervous at this time of year because of the mortgage tax revenue. It's always kind of a guesstimate and basically depends on who buys what property and how large their mortgages are. So we're doing okay, but it's a revenue stream I always fret a little bit about. But anyway, we're still looking good. I want to give a shout out to Rec Director Lauren Osterman for receiving yet another grant for the rec program. Lauren and Sarah launched a very successful program called Recipes for Kids last year. And this year they applied for a grant and we received $5,000 from the county in order to be able to expand the program. So kudos to them. Julia filled you in on, oh no, you haven't yet, but she will. There's a big grant we're going after, which Julia will fill you in on. I want to reiterate that we aggressively go after grant funding as a way to save taxpayer dollars, and I'm very proud of all that we have collectively managed to accomplish. I will be attending a free workshop later this month specifically on grant funding for small rural towns. I also attended a conference of the New York State Association of Towns on Monday. I'm the chair of the Workforce Development Committee, and we're working on ways to make working for municipal government more attractive to young people. There's an inherent issue with salary levels, as it's impossible for town governments, especially small town governments, to compete with the private sector on salaries. Mm-hmm. One program we're working on is focusing on educational opportunities, and we've launched a series of micro-credential programs with the SUNY schools, which are available to not only our current employees, but to students. We're meeting with SUNY Dutchess at the end of this month to hopefully get them aboard. Because so far the counties the SUNYs that have joined with this AOT program are further north. Mm-hmm. And just a plug for the Association of Towns, it's an invaluable resource to our community. Besides the fact that when we have questions, legal questions that are not in the purview specifically of our own town attorney, There are 3 brilliant lawyers that are available to help us. And the association very aggressively advocates in Albany during the legislative sessions for the benefit of small towns, or of all towns. They write legal briefs for cases that impact us, that go to the courts. We're still awaiting the final appeal on even year elections, which will be decided in September by an appellate court. I think that's all I've got to say. So, I'd like to open up privilege of the floor. If anyone has an issue they'd like to discuss with the town board about town business, please come up to the podium, give your name and address to Rita Mary Bell, and you have 3 minutes to talk. Okay, then.
I feel like everyone's looking at us.
We already have the floor,
Why
so.
don't you just tell me what you want to say?
What?
Did you want to say something, Judith? Oh, okay. I saw your hand raised.
That sounded very intimidating.
No pressure, no pressure.
What, the why don't you just
Yeah, it's
tell me?
like- what are you-
It was a Seinfeld.
Oh.
It's a Seinfeld reference, if anyone gets it.
It's okay.
Why don't you just tell me what you want me to say? It's a Seinfeld reference. I thought everyone would get it, sorry.
That's okay.
That's funny. That's,
Okay, I closed privilege of the floor, so I'd like to open the public hearing on proposed local law number 5, which is amending chapter 164 of the town code to establish rules and regulations for short-term rental accommodations. This is a formal but a bit pro forma of a public hearing, because we've gotten a lot of feedback, and we had an open public hearing several months ago where we got a lot of input from the community and made the changes that we felt were appropriate to make. But I will have to say, we are going to pass the law in its current iteration because we're running out of time. This is the law where towns have to either establish their own laws by September or do whatever the county or the state ends up mandating, and we do not want to do that. We believe in home rule, and we'd like to have our own regulations, so we will be passing this law. But in any case, with that preamble, is there anyone here who'd like to speak about the short-term rental?
Could I have a
law?
second, please?
Oh, sorry,
I'll
Rita.
second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Patrick, this is going to be a very short meeting. I'm always happy to see you here. Okay, then I make a motion to close the public hearing.
Second.
Aye.
All in favor?
Aye.
We're moving this forward.
You. Okay, new business. The Stanford Recreation Campaign Resolution 8A, Phase 1. Teddy, could you read that resolution for us?
Yes. So, Resolution 8A of 2025, authorizing the purchase of playground equipment from BCI Burke Company, LLC, through Sourcewell. At a meeting of the Town Board of the Town of Stanford, Town Board, held at the Town of Stanford Town Hall on the 14th day of August 2025 at 7 p.m., Town Supervisor Wendy Burton called the meeting to order, and she, seconded by Councilmember Secor, moved the following resolution. Whereas Section 103.16 of the New York General Municipal Law, also known as GML, authorizes municipalities to purchase apparati, materials, equipment, or supplies, or to contract for services related to the installation, maintenance, or repair of apparati, materials, equipment, and supplies through a contract let by a political subdivision or district of another state, provided such contract was let to the lowest responsible bidder or on a basis of best value in a manner consistent with Section 103 of the GML, a procedure commonly known as piggybacking. And whereas Sourcewell is an agency of the state of Minnesota which awards purchasing contracts through a competitive bidding process and requires such purchasing contracts allow other municipalities to purchase under the same terms. And whereas Sourcewell has contracted with BCI Burke Company, LLC, by contract dated February 15, 2021, Sourcewell contract, as it's known, for the purchase of playground equipment, and the terms of the contract allow other municipalities to purchase playground equipment on the same terms. And whereas Sourcewell solicited sealed bids from various manufacturers of playground equipment and awarded the contract to BCI Burr Company LLC after determining by objective standards that BCI Burr Company LLC provided the best value in a manner consistent with Section 103 of the GML, and whereas 2 dead trees were recently removed at the waterfront of Recreation Center, and whereas the Recreation Commission requested 3 permanent shade structures as a replacement for these mature trees, and whereas the town board has determined it is in the best interest of the town to purchase these permanent shade structures, including but not limited to the equipment listed in estimate 22862 for shade structures from American Recreational Products pursuant to the terms of the contract between BCI Burr Company LLC and Sourcewell. And whereas the town board has determined the proposed action qualifies as a Type 2 action under the New York State Environmental Quality Review Act, as it involves the purchase of equipment which is not land, radioactive material, pesticides, herbicides, or other hazardous materials, and is therefore exempt from environmental review pursuant to 6 NYCRR subsection 617.5C31, and now therefore be it resolved that the town board hereby is the expenditure of $24,034.38 to the purchase of shade structures, including but not limited to the equipment listed in estimate 22862 for shade structures from American Recreational Products pursuant to the terms of the contract between BCI Burr Company LLC and Sourcewell, and be it further resolved that the town board hereby authorizes the town supervisor to sign any and all documents necessary to complete the purchase of shade structures for the Recreation Center from American Recreational Products pursuant to the terms of the contract between BCI Burr Company LLC and Sourcewell, and be it further resolved that the town board authorizes the town supervisor to pay up to $24,100 from the Rec Campaign Committee Capital Project Fund, numbers listed, equipment, shade structures. The foregoing resolution was voted upon.
That part's for me.
Rita Mary.
Okay.
Thank you, Teddy.
That was like reading, those
Thanks,
old
Ted.
poems, like the 80 ate the spider and ate the horse and the fly, what I mean?
Wendy Burton.
Yes. Oh, wait, did he make the motion?
I have it already.
Do I have to second it?
No, you made the motion, Teddy seconded it.
I did not make the motion.
It's in the,
Okay.
it's in the,
That's when I
Yep.
pointed to myself.
yeah, it's in there.
Okay. Yes.
Okay, Wendy Burton.
Yes.
Julie Dakota.
Yes.
Eric Ames.
Yes.
Nathan absent. Teddy Secor.
Yes. I'm out of breath.
I don't
Good job,
blame you.
Teddy.
Yeah, so much for the short meeting. Okay. Now we're on to local law number 5 of 2025, short-term rental, the law. Bob Butts, our counselor, would you like to take us through this process?
Certainly. First of all, because this is an amendment to the zoning law, it's a type 1 action. We need to complete the seeker determinations first. And so we have the first resolution is the seeker resolution. Second resolution, 8C, is the resolution for adoption of the statute. So with regard to seeker, when the previous version was introduced in March but not adopted, but at the time of introduction then we approved part 1 of the seeker environmental assessment form. And because the changes in the current revised version are not all that substantial, we can reuse that for this purpose.
Does
we
it have to change?
No, it's and it's referred to in the seeker resolution. I had circulated drafts of parts 2 and 3 of the environmental assessment form, which hopefully the board has reviewed. The sections of the part 2 that would relate to construction of physical projects are really not applicable in this situation. So they have been left blank, and really the only items that have any discussion whatsoever would be the last two items, I think, which refer to whether the matter is consistent with our local zoning law, and whether I forget what the
Community plans and character?
Yeah, community plan, and those I would think should be considered to be small to no impact, but are only reviewed because it's not. This is currently not an issue, a use that's permitted under the zoning law.
Mm-hmm.
So it requires a change in the zoning law. So if the board is in agreement that that there are no substantial adverse environmental impacts, you could take up the resolution 8B, which do you want me to read it?
Oh,
Or
gosh.
summarize it?
I guess you could summarize it, because the
Yeah,
truth is,
just to summarize it, we mentioned that we had previously introduced a previous version of this statute in March. It wasn't adopted, but we did receive written comments from the town board. We held a special meeting on June 26th, 2025, and heard comments from the public. And we received written comments from the public, and revisions were made to the previous version. Actually, revisions were made to two previous versions.
Mm-hmm.
And now the current version was introduced in July, and again was referred to county planning. And county planning determined that this was a matter of local concern, and they had no comments on it. We also referred it again to the planning board, and received a response back from the planning board that basically repeated its and referred us to its prior comments. And we held a public hearing tonight. And I think this resolution should be amended. We could do this change now because no, I guess not, because there were no comments, but I didn't say that we considered comments at the public hearing, because there
Well,
were.
we can't.
But we didn't, but there were
There were
none, but
none.
it doesn't, we don't need to change this
We
resolution.
were willing to.
That's right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Right. So, you've gone through the steps you need to do to examine environmental impacts, and if you agree that there are no substantial adverse environmental impacts, this resolution could be adopted, and it's what we call a negative
Right.
declaration, which means that there are no substantial adverse impacts.
Thank you.
So this requires a motion
Yeah.
and a second.
I make the motion to adopt Resolution 8B of 2025.
I'll second it.
Wendy Burton,
Yes.
Judy Dakota,
Yes.
Eric Haynes,
Yes.
Mary Gilbert, you're absent, Dave Secor.
Yes.
So that resolution passes.
Yep.
So now you can take up the Resolution 8C. The whereases are even shorter in this case, because it recites that the local law, proposed local law number 5 was introduced in July, recites the referral to Dutchess County Planning and Development. That the public hearing was held tonight, that we had the referral to the planning board, and that the town has just issued a neg deck. And the motion is that the proposed local law be enacted. And it's the same wording as it had been introduced in July.
So I will make a motion to adopt Resolution 8C of 2025 to enact local law number 5 of 2025, a local law amending Chapter 164 of the Town Code to establish rules and regulations for short-term rental accommodations.
I'll second.
Wendy Berger,
Yes.
Julia Dakota,
Yes.
Eric Ames,
Yes.
Nathan Richard absent, Tracy Cook.
Yes.
Wow, thank you.
Great.
We finally did it.
And if
Rita,
anybody needs copies, they're up there.
will you make sure that, that Dawn and Katrina and Neil all get copies?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Right, and the negative declaration, oh, Wendy,
Yes.
you,
I need to
the
sign
negative
something.
declaration, you get to sign Part 3, and the neg deck gets, yes, there we go, thank you. The neg deck gets filed in your office. It has to be published in the environmental notice bulletin. And I think that's it.
What?
He likes to do those DEC things for me.
But it gets filed in Rita's office.
It'll be filed in Rita's office too, but also yours. And in the ENB.
We're the 14th.
Yeah.
Okay, wow.
Great.
That was a long time in coming.
Yeah.
Yeah, here.
Year. Okay, well, congratulations on that. Thank you, Counselor.
Thank you all for all the work that everybody's put into this.
Yeah.
A lot of huge joint effort.
I would like to make a motion to appoint Doreen Brown to the Zoning Commission.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
We now have a full zoning commission again, which is great, and we will hopefully never have to cancel another meeting due to a lack of a quorum. Now, we have an update on our water quality committee, which Julia has spearheaded. Some exciting things are happening already.
Yes.
You do that, right?
So, the Water Quality Committee was formed via resolution from the town board last month. We were approached by Cornell Cooperative Extension in about 2 weeks ago to see if we wanted to partner with them on a grant submission for the Hudson River Estuary Program sponsored by the DEC. That program specifically is aimed at helping communities form governance and process around comprehensive water testing and monitoring, something that we don't have in our town, and is a pretty critical issue because we're all on well water, at sort of wrapping our arms around. And so it was very serendipitous when Cornell Cooperative approached us, and the grant covers up to $75,000 in costs associated with the stewardship and planning and execution, and we applied for $75,000, and that will include a 3-year program. And the project is designed to advance our capacity to protect groundwater resources. It helps us develop what's called a quality assurance project plan, which is approved by the DEC, which will guide our groundwater sampling and analysis. So this is something that is stewarded by the state and is official in, the most robust process it could be. The project will evaluate historical data, of which there is a pretty good amount of, but it dates back to the early 90s and in late 80s, so not particularly timely for us. Identify priority sampling locations. Wendy sent out a form now a few months ago asking people if they were interested. We haven't even done any comprehensive campaigning or anything around this, and we had over 40 submissions for people that wanted to get their groundwater tested. So the program is designed to basically help the committee galvanize around the grant. Is also, there's funds for mailers and posters to basically start a campaign around this whole initiative, because it is something that will really, give us some foundation for the next several decades in town, ideally. And it will help us engage residents through public education and outreach. The results will inform future source water protection strategies and support renewed intermunicipal coordination across the Wappinger Creek watershed. So what we want to do is we want to serve as the pioneer for putting this sort of process together so that we can socialize this across other towns within the Wappingers Creek watershed, of which there are, I believe, 12. And it goes all the way down to Fishkill, so that anyone that's on well water will have this same sort of process that they can take advantage of. It's a really cool grant, and we have an amazing committee of a retired oceanographer who in his last job was working on desalination techniques in California. We have an ecologist. We have a retired Marist adjunct professor. I mean, it's just incredible, the brain trust that we have for this water quality committee. With that being said, we did have a member that we had what's what I'm looking for? Appointed to the committee last month, but she has since submitted her resignation due to health, ongoing health concerns. So we are looking for a new member, or potentially 3 new members. It's a 5-person committee right now, and we'd just like an odd number of people. So we'll see, depending on who. But we have 1 immediate opening. And so with that, I think we'll put that in the, it's already been put in the newsletter. And folks can reach out to Rita Mary if they're interested.
I have to say, I'm so darn proud of this. It's like, you work on the comprehensive plan for what feels like most of your life, and then it gets passed, and it has these aspirations for the government to fulfill, and water protection is like so important. And Julia comes marching into the office saying she wants a new project, and we look at the comprehensive plan and go, this is a biggie, let's do this, let's have you spearhead this, and then just serendipitously we get our stuff together, and this grant is available, and then Cornell Cooperative, which carries a lot of weight, seeks us out. I mean, it's just, it feels bashert, which is the Yiddish word for meant to be, but it's just really joyful that we've taken this issue on, and so anyway, thank you.
Yeah, of course. And I just want to add that we'll find out about the funding in November, and it's a 3-year program. Cornell Cooperative will be they're the lead applicant for it, which means that the funding and the execution of the testing and any engineering firms will be conducted through them. But we have every faith in them because they've done this before, and they are well equipped to do it. And it's been a while since we've done this in our town. So they are a well-qualified lead applicant for us.
That's great. Thank you.
Can I have a motion, please, to accept that resignation?
Yes. Motion to accept Suzanne Zaitowski's resignation from the Water Quality Committee.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
So Rita, when you get those, if people apply, will you just ask them for their resume?
I forwarded one person to you who
Yep.
had questions about meeting times.
Yeah, I'll talk to her next week.
Our Burdick Park project, geez Louise, it began, I think, 5 years ago. I'm really hoping to, to walk onto the ground while I'm still here. But it's moving, we are seeing some very positive movement, and we realized that we never actually made a formal resolution to be, for the town board to be the lead agency, which is apparently something we need to do.
Only if you have an approval that you need to undertake.
Well, we've already approved, put your hand down for a second, Missy. We've already approved the master plan that was, the design that, as a board,
Right.
that was submitted to us, so, but formally, should we be a lead agency?
Well, if you're talking for seeker purposes, really, the lead agency designation is associated with when an approval comes up that requires the town to take some action, and like either granting a permit or undertaking a construction project or something like that, that requires some action on your part as a board. And then in that instance, then you, as part of undertaking that action, we have to go through this process of seeker review, as we did with the adoption of the zoning law. So
I think we should
if there's nothing,
proactively do it.
yeah, if there's nothing really pending, I
love it.
if there's nothing really pending, you don't really have to do anything
Well, there-
about designating yourselves.
Yeah,
There will be, I mean, there is, we're, the parking area has to be created.
We need state dock permit to do the apron on the parking area. And that application, I can speak in all privilege of the floor if you prefer, but
No,
to
Judy, it's
do
fine.
that, to file that application, we need the lead agency designation. It's in the application.
Okay.
That is why we requested that the town board do
And,
this.
and
It's
that's,
a short form, I'm sorry.
we've
I
had,
didn't bring
we've
it.
had this issue with DOT before, I think, I recall, where they're, what is the permit for?
It's the apron, it's an existing parking.
It's for approval of an apron.
Yeah, Charlie's been dealing with them, and they said we have to put in, and Frank, that we have to get this short form application for the driveway. And we have all the papers together, but one of the questions is lead agency, which will then lead to the seeker.
Okay.
Okay.
And the unlisted, I can explain a little bit.
Is the,
But there.
Is this
using
time
the funds.
sensitive?
I mean, actually.
This has to be done now?
It's weird.
Uh,
The money's being held by the Stanford Historical Society. No.
We're hoping actually to get it in now, as soon as we get this designation. We're hoping to send in this application, and they're waiting for it. We have whatever the papers are, etc.
Well, I don't see any harm in making it Resolution 8D to declare the town board the lead agency.
Do you need it by resolution?
Well,
And the motion be sufficient?
no, I think we need it by resolution.
Oh dear, what I'm looking for is a copy of the seeker regs, because you might not even need, this might,
Is there any harm
You-
in our just making an impromptu resolution to be lead agency? and-
well, it's supposed to be, there's supposed to be an EAF form that you consider
To become the lead agency?
to, if there are other agencies involved, it should be on the other, all of the involved agencies have to consent. So, yes, why don't you adopt
It'd be a
a motion of your intent to become the lead agency?
I make a motion.
Yeah. Okay.
Sorry.
To intend to become the.
To state
of
the
intent-
board's intention to become
of-
lead
of
agency
intention, yeah.
for the Dot Burdick Park project.
Second.
But they're not requiring a negative declaration yet?
Now, what I understand from Charles Shaw, who's really much more of an expert on this than I am, and I also did need to seek a resolution, and this project is something called an unlisted project, but it
Okay.
will need the town to declare it an unlisted project.
Yes,
I
yeah.
do want to speak about that process, because I want to make sure that it's all done properly, but that's where it fits in, and I did go, I was at the town board to look at one thing, and then I went and I researched the secret resolution, and Charlie told me.
Okay, so
I
actually,
did not envy that process.
actually, if it's unlisted, it doesn't even necessarily have to have a lead agency.
Can we
but-
finish this motion just to?
Yeah, go ahead.
All in favor?
Aye. Okay,
Thank you.
now, Bob.
And I think what needs to be done is for a short Form EAF to get generated.
Okay.
And you can complete the process then.
Okay. Okay?
We did this before about 3 years ago, I think. I recall this, a similar
But no, so the-
situation came up with DOT.
Okay, all right.
I ought to go back. I'll see if I can find that in my
I
files.
can't remember what the issue would have been.
I forget.
During the
I
call.
can't remember this stuff.
I know.
Yep.
Okay. So we did that by motion. I'd like to make a motion to accept the minutes of the July 10th meeting.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
With changes,
Yes, with the
Yes.
changes submitted
Aye.
by Julia
That's right.
and you.
and me.
Thank you.
I'd like to make a motion to approve abstract number 8 for August. The general fund spent $69,490.21. Highway, $34,417.67. Bengal Lighting, which includes 2 months of billing for Nathan, who's going to ask that question, but he's not here, is $1,955.65. Escrow, $12,859.50, and the ambulance, as always, $62,500.
Second.
Thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
Is there any other business you guys need to?
I think,
Yeah.
an announcement
Oh, sure.
about myself.
When you,
Mark.
oh,
We
Oh.
talked about it at the meeting to announce it and just to say, this is something that's happening.
okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Go for it.
So, the announcement in question, I've had a non-traditional college career, and for 6 years I've been pining for a college. And this year that pining finally paid off, where I was accepted for a full ride to obtain my bachelor's degree at Bard College. So I will be joining a cohort of people who are considered non-traditional, 24 years and older. They're municipal people, they are local politicians, they're artists and craftsmen from 24 to, I think, the oldest member's in his 60s.
Ah, baby
So,
still. Baby.
I was accepted on
Freshman.
merit for the work I do for Stanford, so I will be infusing in the near future Stanford and Bard College and seeing if I can get some Bardians to join maybe the Haunted Fortress.
Love
that would
it.
be very nice. So, yeah, I just wanted to make that announcement. I thought it was really special.
It is really special. Thank you, Kitty. We're so proud of you.
Yeah, well done.
All right.
Yeah.
Nice. Well done.
Privilege of the floor, round two. Anyone? Okay, then.
Bye, Sandra.
Sandra, great to see you. We love that you come.
I know.
Bye-bye. Okay, then I will make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Second. Third.
Fourth.
In favor.
Yes, aye.
1 hour.
What'd you think?